dress.
Hey guys, so for those of you who don't know me, I am Chelsea Valentino, and today I am interviewing Jen Barnard, who had no idea that we were actually filming.
No idea.
I mentally said it, obviously. But okay, let's cheers to whatever happens. It's martini o'clock, so let's just roll with it. I feel like I need to order another one already.
We need all of the espresso martinis.
Alright, so you've been in the industry for 12 and a half years so far. Now you studied while you were at school, is that right?
I did. So I did part of my course while I was still in high school, and then when I came out of high school I had 6 more months full time and I was done.
Yeah, so I didn't know that was a thing. Like, was that a part-time traineeship, part-time school?
No, so they sent me 1 day a week. So every Wednesday I went to TAFE, and then I went to school Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, 12 and a half years.
Time flies.
But you don't look a day over 21.
It's Botox.
I'm gonna invest soon. A little bit of filler, a little bit of Botox. I'm scared of the addiction. So you started in Claremont, then you went to Sydney, and then Glasgow. Is that right?
Yeah, I've worked in a few places. So Claremont, Subi, then Sydney, then Vic Park, then Balladura, then Scotland, then Ellenbrook, and now Midland.
So how come you've moved around so much?
I've just, I don't know, worked in different places, learned different things from different places. I worked for a Botox doctor at one point. I worked at a beauty school. I've worked, obviously, in Glasgow. Like, if there's an opportunity to grow and better my experience, then I take it.
Was there a big difference from Glasgow compared to working in Australia?
Yeah, the customer service is rubbish. I got hired because she was like, well, you're Australian, so I know your customer service will be great. And they don't hot wax over there, so we were an intimate waxing specialist, and they don't really hot wax and strip wax, so we were very busy because we hot waxed. And that's why I got the job, because Australians hot wax.
Okay. So in regards to customer service, do you feel like we're just really ultra friendly, or other people are just really super rude?
I don't know, I think we're pretty friendly.
Yeah.
I hope no one from Scotland watches this, but oh my goodness, I would never know where you stood in a customer service situation. You never knew what was happening, if they were serving you, if they weren't serving you. Yeah. No, we've got it.
Because I find that even like traveling, or when they're kind of like over here, that they're very just like abrupt, and I don't know if that's just like how they are, or if they're intentionally being rude.
No, I think they're just an abrupt people.
They're just like that.
Shout out to my United Kingdom people watching.
This is an Australian only podcast. Okay, so what made you go from like working in all those places then to starting up your own business?
I'd always wanted to start my own business, so that was always on the table. I said before I was 30 I had to have my own business, so I started one when I was 28. Yeah, I don't know, it was just the right time. A lot of things happen in life, and then this was the right time to start it.
You were ready? Did you get any signs, or you just like, I'm jumping in?
I'm jumping in.
Well, it's obviously worked for you though.
Yeah, thank God. Feels great.
Why Midland? Like, we all know that if you're from Australia, Midland doesn't necessarily have the best. Yeah, let's be honest. So
because of where I live, Midland's the closest connecting suburb.
Okay, and because Jen lives all the way out in York. Is that like an hour and a half or 2 hours?
It's an hour and a half from here. It's an hour from Midland. So before I was
an hour drive to and from.
Yeah.
And then 12-hour days.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
It's dedication. So you were in Ellenbrook before?
I was in Ellenbrook, so that was getting a lot harder to drive with all the roadworks, and so I thought no more.
Yeah.
No more, we'll do an hour.
Even an hour is a long time.
But it's what you do in peak hour. You're from Bunbury, you don't have
It's
traffic.
true. Yeah. It's like a 5-minute drive, and even then...
Hour. Yeah.
This is very true. That's why I'm not a good city girl. So what about when you were growing? Like, how did you know that you were ready to like grow a team?
Well, at first Kaya was with me on work experience, and then Kaya left me to go do the grain season, and I was like, and then I thought, if Kaya ever comes back, I'm going to hire her. And then she came back and she was like, here's my resume, Jen, I'd like a job. And I thought, Yeah, of course. You start Monday. So that's how I knew. I thought she got placed into my life, but then she left. So now I've got Brittany.
Which is also really important. I feel like if you're looking for a job in the beauty industry, you really have to put yourself out there, because our job is very out there. We're talking to people all the time.
You have to be confident.
You have to be confident.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Sure.
Thanks, Kaya, and for leaving.
Learning lessons.
So, on that note, what has been your biggest struggle with having a team?
Is having a team. It's everything. It's paying for them, it's getting customers, it's building them when people come to you for you. And particularly with Kaya, we did skin with her, whereas like I don't offer skin, so it was like moving clients over to something we just didn't offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was hard, but like it's all lessons and yeah, another experience. So that but it's tricky. It is tricky to run a business.
It's hard because you don't know everything, and sometimes I think people look at you like, oh, you are just supposed to know all these things, and we really have no idea.
We don't know what we're doing.
So we literally just make mistake after mistake, and then we're like, oh, okay, we won't do that again.
No.
Yeah, hopefully not. Anyway.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
So, being a business owner, you obviously wear a lot of hats. Like a lot of people do their own bookkeeping, their marketing. You know, you're the boss. You're doing everything. Like, how do you manage that?
Poorly. I have a
with
book,
martinis,
alcohol, and therapy. No,
we can't afford therapy.
no, we can't. We're at our therapy. So I outsource my bookkeeping and my accounting, and then keeping on top of it. Social media is a nightmare.
It's the hardest
it's its own
thing.
job.
It is literally its own job, isn't it?
Yeah, having to keep on top of that has its challenges, but I suppose you make your own brand with that. People who are coming to you come to you for you, and I know I put a lot of personality into mine.
Oh,
because I don't want people come to me think that I'm like a real professional and they're going to get a super professional service. Like, we have fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So have you, like when you started the business, a lot in our industry, people can follow people. So if they have like a bigger connection to your team and your team leave, then obviously they're going to follow.
Yeah.
So have you like put any strategies in place so that they're actually falling in love with you and your brand over specific employees? Or that's kind of, it's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm pretty open about that because I think in all the years that I've worked in this industry, people have always said, you know, they're not your customers, they're the business's customers. But I've found that that's not the case. Like in most cases, they're your customer, they're not that brand's customer. So whenever I've left places, there's that grey area of you can't tell anyone where you're going, you have to be super secretive about it. I'm pretty transparent. Kaya moved back to the country. Had she moved somewhere in Perth, I just would have told everyone, because if anyone wanted to see her, that's their prerogative. They could have stayed with me, maybe she would have been too far or too close or whatever it may be, but I wanted to be upfront about it because if they were going to follow her, they're going to follow her, they're going to find it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be upfront and open.
I think that's really important as well, though, because even if they're going somewhere, she might just be offering facials, but then she's going to recommend you for brows, or like she's going to appreciate and always be talking about how amazing you are.
Reciprocated respect.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's really good, because I do hate going to a place and then I'm wanting to go to the same person and they are really like, oh, you can't see that person anymore, or but they're not
here,
telling
but
me.
Tell you where they are.
And with social media, you can't lie about things these days. We are the FBI. We will find you.
I had a few clients. I only did one day between Christmas and New Year's, and I had a couple of clients come to me from my old work who don't see me, who will continue to go back to my old work because they were recommended by my old work because they knew I was open and they were shut. So I thought that's really nice, and it's about respect and integrity in the industry.
Yeah. And I feel like in saying that, the industry is changing. Like before, I know even being in the industry 10 years ago, it was very like, this is my business and these are my clients, and there's no way in hell we would recommend you to anywhere else because our boss would just kill us. Where now I feel like there's a lot more like, hey, look, like see this person, they're amazing, see that person, they're amazing, or I'm fully booked out, go here.
Yeah, definitely.
Where, so it is that bit of a shift that I think is empowering and really more, it's nice to be supportive of other people in the industry.
To go around.
I agree, and I feel as though we all have different styles, and there's definitely people that I'm like, look, my style's not going to suit you, definitely need to go somewhere else. You need to leave now. But there is that thing, like some people prefer bold and some want natural, and it's like, we're not suited to do all different styles. So I totally agree with that.
Creative flair.
Yeah. And so training. you've trained with some of the best. So like Susie McIntosh, who's very well known in Australia and all globally really now, and Brows by Linny. And you travelled to America to go and train with them.
I did.
How was that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I was so lucky. Flew to LA, and there was quite a lot of Australians there actually, but it was amazing. There was, I think, 52 of us, and all around the globe, but incredible.
Yeah. So it was definitely worth going to America for. Yeah.
And I got a holiday.
Yeah. I was thinking, great tax write-off too. I should have come.
Yeah.
So, would you recommend people to go into cosmetics if they're currently doing like tinting or henna? Is that something you'd be like, yes, you should definitely dive into that? Or would there be precautions you would say? Or
Yeah, I think, I mean, if something you want to do it. Always follow your passion. And if it's something that intrigues you, interests you or whatever, then go for it. But not if you crap.
So what has been your biggest struggle with cosmetics? Because let's be honest, most of us are pretty shit when we get started.
Oh, God.
We don't want to look back at the work.
It's knowing that and acknowledging that, like, not everyone's skin will be the same and some people's retention will be better. Like, you can do the same. You can do, 4 clients in a day. One comes back absolute crap and you're just like, how did this happen? And knowing that just everyone's skin's different and changing accordingly. But that being that little bit temperamental and not being a total control of the situation, that's frustrating.
Yeah. And I agree. It is really, like, I feel like it happens with experience. The more experience you have, the more people you tattoo, the more skins, the more different ages, even different cultures and stuff like that. But it sucks because everything is on social media these days. So if you stuff up, even though you're training, it's out
and everyone's
there.
quick to just
It's
jump.
out there,
I had some
isn't it?
girls in the other day, and I tattooed her eyebrows, and they held beautifully. Classic example of a great retention. Her friend went somewhere else, had a bit of a patchy result, which is to be expected after your first treatment. She was like, "Okay, so they're patchy. Should I leave a bad review?" And the friend was like, "No, like just wait." But no, don't. Just come to us. We can help you.
Yeah. And I think that's what's really difficult, because I get messages as well from people and they're like, oh, I've done one session with so-and-so, and they're sending me photos and they're like, I've messaged her already and it's been like 5 days and rah. And I'm like, it's a 4-week healing process. Like, calm down. Yeah. Do your research and then trust in the person.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster, and we always, and I know about you, I'm sure you do, but we always drum into you guys that it's such a temperamental kind of roller coaster. And there's ups and downs in the whole healing process. So reiterating that so that you don't have these situations, but you're still going to. You're still going to get people that come and say, this didn't hold or whatever, and they're at week 1 and it's just started healing, and you're like, well, of course it's not.
Just calm down. So one of the things that I have done that has really helped me is I literally have printed out and cut out these pictures, and it's like 6 pictures, and it says from day 1 to 5 this will happen, and from day blah 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 blah, and it will literally say they will be itchy, they will be patchy, they will be, and I tell people to put that on their bathroom mirror, and it has really helped me, because they have come back and said, oh my god, I was totally freaking out, had a look at it. It's
I
fine.
should put that. I've got an aftercare card with everything, but that would be helpful.
I literally got it off the internet and I just cut them out. Do it. It'll save you so many messages. So, speaking of Instagram, you are very well known for Instagram stories. Do yourself a favour, if you're not following, definitely follow, because I know when I'm having a really shit day, I'm like, who's going to make me laugh? Jen's Instagram story. So, do you get really good response from that? Because I know I'm hassling you all the time
to make more videos. Yeah, for sure. I did it. I made a segment over Christmas called Things Clients Say at Christmas, which was basically bullying all my customers and keeping them accountable.
Very passive aggressive, but hilarious to anyone who's in the industry, because we get it. Like, we totally get it.
And it's been 12.5 years of me hearing it, as you have, as we all have. So I thought this year I'm just going to make people accountable, and as a result they were all terrified, and I had a very cruisy Christmas, very few phone calls and very few issues, so that was great. But everyone was like, what's going to happen in January? I was like, I'm just going to have to carry it on, like dumb things clients say in January, like we're just going to ride this wave, and then it's going to be dumb things clients say in February, and we're just going to keep, but
I feel like you could totally put that out there to people in the beauty industry, because we all have these things that we're so sick of hearing. And we get it, we hear it, and we're just like, okay, another one.
I ripped into Geminis at one stage, and then I had a few clients be like, I didn't want to come in because I was a Gemini. I was like, perfect. system works. I do what I can. Like,
It's your brand. It's
my brand.
It's true.
No hawkers, no Geminis.
Which is also another really good thing about genuinely being yourself and bringing yourself out on Instagram and Facebook and all your socials, because you are literally going to attract the people that are like you, and you are going to push away the people that are not like you. And that's okay, because then all your clients that come in are going to be awesome and amazing, because you're saying something different.
You build your own clientele.
I love that. So, in regards to your troll, you had a troll.
I had a troll.
What happened?
Someone trolled me one day, and I just deleted it. I thought, I'm better than this. And then the next day she replied and just put like a whole stack of stuff, and I was like, that's fun. I'm not bigger than that. So then I shared it. And I was stoked, because like she made a fake account, he or she, I assume she, because she uses the word literally a lot, and I think she spelled it wrong. So she wrote to me a whole second, made a fake account, could have just unfollowed me and was like, why are you doing this? Like, it's not funny, like, and I'm like, could have just unfollowed me. But instead she made a fake account, so I felt, I couldn't fit my head out of the salon. I was just buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
Because only famous people have trolls.
Little old me and little old Midland.
So how do you deal with it? Do you feel like, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people won't post things because they're so nervous about the backlash of like some literally random person that could be in the middle of in India or something.
Yeah, it could be anywhere.
Could be literally anywhere in the world. It hasn't put you off anything, you're just like, meh, whatever.
You keep posting
Come again.
Gemini hate and fan from the back, I don't know, like, it was just funny. I thought it was so funny.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's good if you can take it that way, as in like, you know, you're not sitting in your room crying in a fetal position, you're just like, meh.
It's great. You had
whatever.
nothing better to do than to message me. Like, that's brilliant.
And it's an effort, making another Instagram account and then going out of your way.
To message me 2 days in a row.
Yeah. That's extreme, rather than just being like unfollow, block, something like that.
Yeah. Or like, I think you can just like, block.
Stop notifications.
Yeah, stop
and
notifications.
Stuff.
So I felt pretty great about it. Highlight of my career, for sure.
So, in regards to your videos, what was your intention? Were you like, I'm going to create videos because I know I'm just totally hilarious and people are going to love me? Or were you just like, I'm too lazy to post things?
I think I wanted to bring a bit more of my personality onto the page, because I didn't want people to come and think that they were getting a certain type of service, that they were coming in and like, I'm inappropriate and I say inappropriate things. I just didn't want people to walk in and think that this was going to be like, hello, and I'm going to wear like that white shirt thing, and I'm going to be like, thanks for coming. And then I've got Enya playing, and I'm like, come in, I just have a
Oh, I can't do Enya.
So I thought, I don't want them to come in and think that that's what they're getting, because then that brings another certain type of clientele, which is not who I am.
Thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how you get bad reviews as well, because then people have expected something that is totally not what they get.
Yeah, and someone got cranky once because I swore, and I'm like, well, I swear all the time, so I'd rather project that in my brand so that people know when they're coming to me that that's the kind of
thing they're getting.
therapist I am. So
there's nothing wrong with that. So in regards to Facebook and Instagram, I think especially Instagram, everything is extremely filtered and edited, and I feel as though people's expectations are quite high. So especially in regards to cosmetic tattooing, how do you like limit their expectations to be a bit more realistic?
Just tear them back down. That would look terrible on you. No, I don't know. You just kind of, at the end of the day, like you would draw them on first. You would discuss with them their expectations, what they're hoping to achieve. I don't know. I suppose, it's like with the whole makeup thing. When people go, I want cut crease, you go, that's not stupid when your eyes resting. It looks good when you're looking at this angle coming from this side, but if you're just existing in the world, cut crease looks absolutely stupid. Yeah. So I suppose educating them in a tactful manner. That's what I do. That what would look good and why it wouldn't, and just explaining things that way, because you'd rather, like when some client goes, I want the tail really arched, so you go, well, if you close off the eye, it's going to make you look a bit older, like why don't we try lifting, and just doing it in a tactful way, maybe doing one and drawing the other one different so they can see the difference, and approaching it a bit of a roundabout way so that they come to make a better decision. Draw one crap, no. So they pick the good eyebrow.
It's true sometimes though. It's like, it's no different with hair. Like people will come in with like black hair, because I worked in a hairdresser's for a while, literally like black box dyed hair, and they'll come in with like a bleach blonde photo and be like, so I want this, and if you could do it today for less than $200, that would be fab.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Please go somewhere else.
So dumbing that down, and also because you'd rather pace yourselves, as I mentioned you do. Like I had a client in the other day, and she's a bit older, and she wanted ombre, which is always a little bit stronger, and then she said, I like them quite dark, and I was like, look, let's go a little bit lighter first. I'd rather them be too light than too dark. And then when she came back, she wanted them darker, which is fine, but you'd rather do that and say, look, let's just like work our way there, so it's not just so much all at once. Like let's just, you know,
easier to add than it is to take away.
Yeah, you'd rather it be a little bit less or a little bit lighter, and then have to add more than they'd be too dark and you're stuck with it.
Absolutely, and because there is like a percentage of people that can obviously turn pigment darker. So if you do the perfect darkness and you go darker, it's a headache for us, obviously. So, what about brow courses? Is there a brow course that you've done that you're like, oh my god, this completely changed my brow game?
I always say that I've learned from everyone I've ever worked from. Like I've taken pieces of knowledge from everyone. I did do a really nice course with Jazz Pampling. She came out here from Sydney, and I think if you don't know brows and you want to get into brows, she's good because she's all round and informative. And if I came in with nothing, it was extremely informative. But obviously I came in with the knowledge of brows, so then I just kind of took pieces from her. But yeah, ultimately I think I've just learned from everyone. You learn at each client. You learn when their muscles work, or you just learn doing every single client and watching their regrowth and working with other people and seeing what they do. We would always, we'd always troubleshoot with each other and be like, what colour would you do? What do you think about this? Should I leave this? Because, you know, I'm just one person looking at your eyebrows for the first time. Yeah. And if there's 6 of us and we all look at your eyebrows and we all have our own creative interpretation of what we think will suit you, and then we form a consensus. Like, you just learn from other people. And
And I think that comes back to being able to find the right artist for people as well, is that we all have our own different flares again and our own different opinions and way we would have done things and whatnot.
For sure.
Yeah. It's really hard when you're working on your own because you don't have those people to just like throw it off of. It's literally just all kind of resting on you.
Exactly. And again, you'd always rather do less than more. So
So do you have like a brow squad or a brow team, or like people that you turn to, you know, in the industry? Because you need to kind of let off some steam sometimes, and you can't always do that with your employees.
No. Probably just with you. I get a voice message from you, I'm like, oh no, she's saying something about a customer. And I listen to it. So, there's a couple others you might want to vent to.
I feel like you definitely need to vent though, and it has to be to someone in the industry because
it gets it.
You've got to have someone that gets it, and it does still even help to have that opinion, even from afar. Yeah, for sure. And it usually ends in swearing. Yes, and then laughter.
Yeah, but we love you guys. We love clients. You're all a good laugh.
We do. We definitely do. I think sometimes there's just always that one in a million that you're like, why am I doing this again?
A lot of bad things happen.
It's true. And then we have like espresso martinis and everything's fine. So never mind.
And chippies.
Yeah. Okay, so who do you want to train with next? Do you have anyone in mind that you're like, yeah, this is what's up?
I don't know. There's just so many people out there, isn't there?
There's so many.
And it's constantly evolving. There's constantly more new people that you just think, who the heck are you? And when did you come out? You're amazing. So
some are amazing and some I'm just like, how are you training? Like, and I'm not being rude, like this is serious. Like, people are literally just starting up brow courses and they're like, yeah, no worries, $4,000 for one day. And it's like, no, are you serious? No. Like, and all their photos are just selfies. I'm like, that's a red flag to me. It's a huge red flag to me. And I think what really upsets me about it is it's destroying the industry, because there are genuinely amazing trainers out there that have been doing this for decades and they really know their shit. But then you've got people wanting to come into the industry and they're choosing these other people that might be a bit cheaper and don't necessarily know what they're doing. And these are the botched jobs that are happening because these people don't know any better. Yeah. It really frustrates me. I'm going to be honest. Okay, so what do you think about training? Do you feel like there's a certain amount of training you should do every year, or are you just kind of like when someone comes up?
I know when the academy, is that what we have, the association, that you have to train within 2 years to be a member of the Cosmetic Association, right? I think that's fair. I think at the time though when I joined, just no one ever came to Australia. So if you wanted to train, you had to go overseas, closest being Dubai.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's more accessible to get training. So I do think you need to maintain it because there are people who have been tattooing for so many years and they're not updating their training. And people go, oh, well, she's been doing it for 28 years, so I'm going to go see her.
Yeah.
But she hasn't updated her training in 20 years.
Yeah.
So she's doing the same styles, which again, we all have our own flair. So yeah, I think it's important to be constantly updating. I think we're always learning new ways to improve our techniques, and that's why when I tell people I was going to America, everyone's like, why? And I'm like, well, there's new techniques, we're learning better ways to get retention, and it's important to constantly upskill and be on top of the game.
Yeah, I agree. And I do find like clients love that. They're like, I absolutely love that you're still training because it is a big investment and it's time, and you know, it shows that you actually give a shit about what you do. And I think it is important as well because there's constantly new products coming out. There's constantly new trainers, new machines, new everything. And it is, it's a place that is constantly evolving. I think hair and beauty is massive. Skincare as well. Like it doesn't stop. The moment science is growing and growing and growing, and technology, so are we. So, you know, if you stop for a few years, like you could be obsolete potentially. Like you need to retrain. Yeah, definitely. So what advice would you give to people wanting to enter the industry? Like just the brow industry in general.
I mean, if you're passionate about it, do it. There's so many brow places. I think if you're good, do it, because we all have our skill and we should all follow what we love, and yeah, just be good at it, be careful, learn, watch YouTube, look at photos, critique your own work, always take photos, like always look back at your photos. Even I'll look back at photos and think, oh, I should have taken that, or an extra row should have come off, or I could have done that a bit lighter, or I could have done this, or I should have taken more tint off. Always critique your work, always take photos, chase up with clients when you're first learning, see how they go. I always tell people, particularly with like header and tints, sometimes they don't mind looking a bit muddy on that first day because then they get a longer last, but some people hate that. So always checking in with your clients and what they want and what they're happy to leave with. I have clients that go, leave the henna on, I'll go home, then it'll last longer. I've got something on this weekend, don't do that. Like, you know, so always just checking in with your clients and because even if you think it looks good, sometimes your client, it's not what they want. And I find that's huge in the industry as well. Like a lot of people, when the fashion brows come in, like the bold and the, you know, big bold brows, like for someone like me, that's ridiculous because I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't like big and bold. Like it's just, I feel like an idiot. I'm blonde, I'm a natural redhead. So going like black brows on me looks stupid. I feel stupid. And I feel like a lot of therapists tend to do what they want to do and what's going to be a really great Instagram photo over what is suitable. Correct. And everyone's different. You might get a light colour, say like you, but then you might grip the tint really well. And so community, like I've got dark eyebrows, but I do a light brown tint because mine grip like that. So checking in with your customer, because they might be your colour and go, I like them really dark because it doesn't hold on me. And even though you don't agree with that, you're like, if it doesn't hold on you, you've got to always be communicating with your customer.
Totally agree. So what advice would you give to people that are already in the industry but they're working for someone else and they're considering moving into maybe opening their own salon?
Go get a job at Coles and don't. And then all you have to do is ask if they've got flybys.
And then have your weekends off.
Just get paid and never do BAS. No, the BAS isn't due, so I'm in a pretty optimistic time about business ownership. Just when BAS is due, I get a bit like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to work at Coles, and I just put the things in a bag. Follow your ambitions if you want to do it. If you want to run a business, run a business. Be good. I don't know. Go get a job at Coles.
What advice would you have given yourself then? Like, knowing what you know now, if you could go back, what advice would you have given yourself 12 years ago?
Well, you know what? I was pretty savvy. I got sat down when I was 18 at my first job, and she said, what do you want out of your career? And she said, where do you see yourself at 21, 25, 30? And I said, 21, I better be overseas, which I was. 25, I said, I better be managing a clinic, which I was after like 6 months. And then I said, and at 30, I better have my own shop or I better be dead. So that better be the only excuse.
I'm glad you're not dead, but you have your own shop.
I have my own shop. So I don't know. Just
wing it.
Question.
What advice would you have given yourself?
You nailed it. Good job, Jen. Keep up the good work. Kiss the boys and follow your dreams.
Do what you can.
Yeah.
So what about then if you knew what you know now and you were to go back, would you still be in the beauty industry? Would you do it all over
100%.
again? You
I
would.
do this all. I was 10 when I first said I wanted to be a beauty therapist, and I stand by this. I get to make people feel beautiful every day, and it's the most rewarding job in the world.
How did you know? Did you just have a natural flair?
My mum used to take me to her waxing appointments. Yeah, mum used to take me to a wax. My mum taught me skincare at like 10. She'd be like, you got to tone your face, we've got to moisturise. And like, we'd be sitting there and we'd be like toning our faces at night and like washing them and everything. And then she used to take me to a waxing appointments back when they used to reuse the calico and they used to wash the wax off. And there'd be all these like little calico things hung up, and I'd just like,
gross.
one day I'm going to be a beautician. She'd be like, all right, no worries. And here we are. She used to buy me like false nails so I could practice nail art. She used to buy me makeup when I was like 11 and makeup books and yeah.
Or just randomly, back in the day as well, they used to like sieve your wax. So they would because you'd use the same pop sticks and stuff like that. So to get the hair out, you would like sieve it, and
so
then you would
heat
reuse it.
Yeah. So that wax that was on your bottom could be on your next person's lip. They'd be like, oh, just heat it up, it kills the germs.
Which is not true, by the way.
No. I never worked in the clinic, did you?
No.
One of my girlfriends did when I first started, and I remember we were at dinner, and she said, do you reuse the wax? And I was like, of course I don't use it. Why would you reuse the wax? And she's like, will you reuse the wax? I'm like, do your customers know? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, no, they don't. And in no world would a client come back knowing their wax is being reused.
Not in this day and age, I don't think.
No. Well, this was 11 years ago.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
But I was still for 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, they don't know. No. Hard no. That's disgusting.
Yeah, so if you're still doing that, please don't, because the health department will shut you down, and it's also quite disgusting. So what about being environmentally friendly? Like, you're always posting stuff about trying to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
Yes, we use a lot of disposables, so we try and keep our single-use plastic disposables to a minimum. So like cotton tips particularly are a killer, because we use cotton tips for every client.
I use a lot of those.
So we have the bamboo ones, so we can compost them, and we are mindful. We have a vegan wax. We have honey wax, sugar wax, in as well. If a customer wants it, it's a little bit finicky to work with. So we've got it in case they ask, and it's obviously chemical free and everything like that. We try and reduce all of our petrochemicals in the salon. We don't use petroleum jelly anymore. We use coconut oil for our tints. We've got Who Gives a Crap tissues, so that they're recycled as well. And just trying to limit the amount of single-use items. Even our cotton buds we recently replaced with bamboo cotton pads so that they can be washed.
Is it just as good? You find like same results?
No, it is. Yeah, it is good. The only hard part is I've got to find another plant-based dye to dye them, because then the tints dye them and they've got marks and they look dirty when they're clean. So, but just trying to reduce that, because even at the very least they come in a packaging, so reducing that packaging as well. Yeah. Whereas if they come in the bamboo, they're just washed.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it more expensive?
No, I think long term. I mean, initially the investment of them, but then long term you're not constantly buying cotton pads, or I mean, you're still buying cotton tips, but you're buying the bamboo ones. They're a bit more expensive, I suppose, but it balances out when you've got the bamboo cotton pads and the tissues. Yeah, things like that. Just being mindful about how much waste we use. Biodegradable plastic bags as well. Just making sure that we're not, being a part of any more landfill that we could be. And even the wax we use, a lot of it comes in plastic, so I don't buy one that's in plastic anymore.
It's good that things are starting to go more that way.
Yeah, we've got to be conscious, and I think, like, particularly some of the places I've worked, we fill a skip bin a week. And that's just us, like that's just one business filling a skip bin. We need to be more environmentally conscious of the impact we're having on the environment and acting accordingly, because it starts with us. If we're filling a skip bin a week and that's just one business, there's businesses walking down the street, it's a lot, so really just being mindful about how much we use and how much we waste.
Okay, and so what are you thinking for the future? Any future business plans, or just kind of going with the flow?
No, I'm going with the flow this year. We're not setting unrealistic goals. We've got Brittany in the salon now, so just training up Brittany and just keeping going. Just chill. Like, I'm not here to be like, I want to have 8 salons and like 50 staff. I don't. I just want to be chilled. I just want to do my work, go home, feed my goats.
The easy life. Yes. It's not really the easy life. Still running one business is more than hard enough.
Do it, ladies. Be independent, marry rich, don't listen to us.
If only. But so any other advice or anything you want to tell the listeners?
I bitched to you about this before, but I said about not following trends. And I think that's a huge thing, is being true to yourself and not following trends. Because I hate when people say now that big brows are in. I'm like, big brows aren't in, natural brows are in. Like, your natural brows. So young people, and they've all got big brows, it's because they're naturally there. They thin as we age, and let that happen in its time, but don't force your brows into a shape that's not your brows, because then when people go, oh, but what if small brows come back in, or what if this comes back in, it's like, no, your brow will never go out of fashion. Whatever your face shapes your brow to be will never go out of fashion.
Yeah, it will always suit you.
Yeah, it'll always suit you, and even if there is like a lack of symmetry, usually it means there's a lack of symmetry in the rest of your face, so still kind of maintaining that, because otherwise if they're completely even, your nose is out, your face is out, your mouth's out, everything's going to stand out if you've made your eyebrows completely even. So working with what you have.
A lot of people don't notice. Like, the thing is, I feel like when a lot of clients come back, they have the mirror and they have it like right here, and they're like, oh, but if you just look, no one is ever looking at you that close, and you're always moving something, even with Botox and fillers.
Shout out to my gorgeous client. I had a client once and she was like, see, they look perfect, but look, if I go like this, they're not even. And I was like, when are you walking around like this? Like, you don't. Like, this is how you live your life. But she was like, yeah, but look. And then if I go like this, they're not even.
And there is definitely always one or two, I think. And, like, look, you have to be realistic.
Yeah. If you walk around like this, then I will shape your brows like that.
And in regards to trends as well, I mean, like, for people, they can add makeup. You know, you can add makeup, whatever.
And particularly microblading, that's what it's designed for. It's designed to be natural, so you don't know you have it. And then if you want to add more, you can add more. It's not meant to be the quick fix to save your life.
Yeah.
It's just meant to look like your brows naturally. So if you're going to put a full face of makeup on, you probably aren't going to want to fill in your brows.
Yeah.
And again, that goes back to making them a little bit lighter or less, because you can always add more. Is if you change your mind, you want them darker, you can, or if you still want them a bit lighter, you can have that too.
Agreed. So, thanks for listening or watching, guys. Once again, head over and follow Jen Barnard on Instagram.
Please do.
Please do. She's funny. Do yourself a favour. Watch her stories.
Do what I can.
And we'll see you in episode 2. Bye.